Hi everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. In this video we will dive into Kingstone Company's latest update. And let's just say they're calling a conference call for their financial results, but is it a good news call or a we need to explain ourselves call? Let's find out. Alright folks, the big news from Kingstone Companies Inc. is that on August 7th they put out a press release about their financial results for the quarter that ended on June 30th of 2025. They're also holding a conference call on August 8th to talk about it all. This is a pretty standard move for publicly traded companies. They release their numbers and then they give investors and analysts a chance to ask questions. Think of it like a company report card and a Q&A session all rolled into one. Kingstone's main game is their common stock, which you can find trading on the Nasdaq under the ticker symbol Coinons. This is how most people invest in the company, by buying a little piece of ownership. Now, the meat of this filing, the part we really care about, is in item 2.02. This is where they announce their financial results. They also mentioned they have these investor presentation materials available. So they put out a press release and some presentation materials to go along with it. These materials are what they use to explain their financial performance to the world. They're basically giving us a snapshot of how the company is doing. What's really important here is that these presentation materials aren't just for this one conference call. The company can use them and even tweak them to talk to anyone who has a stake in Kingstone. That includes investors, people who lend them money, customers, even their own employees. It's their go-to story about how they're performing. They're also being careful to say that the information in these materials is a summary. They want people to remember that the real detailed picture comes from all their other official filings with the Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC. These summaries are just a highlight reel. And here's a key disclaimer: the presentation materials are current as of the day they filed this report. They aren't promising to update them later if things change, so while they might, they don't have to. It's important to always look at the most up-to-date information. This is some legalese that basically means because they are furnishing this information, not formally filing it as part of a set of mandatory financial disclosures, they're not subject to the same strict rules and potential penalties if something in these presentations isn't perfectly accurate or complete. It's a bit like saying this is our best guess but no promises, and don't sue us if it's not perfect. Then we have item 701, which is about Regulation FD. This is a rule designed to make sure companies share important information with everyone at the same time, so no one group gets an unfair advantage. Again, they make it clear that this information is being shared, not filed, and therefore it won't be held to the same legal standards. They're basically repeating the same point from item 2 side to cover all their bases under different regulatory rules. It's a way to provide information without fully committing to its absolute accuracy in a way that could lead to heavy penalties. This is a really crucial sentence. They are explicitly stating that just because they are sharing this information, it doesn't mean they're admitting it's the most important or complete information out there, or that you absolutely must use it to decide whether to invest. They're walking a fine line, trying to inform without fully guaranteeing. Finally, we get to item 9.01, which is all about the exhibits filed with the report. This is where they attach the actual documents being referenced. Exhibit 99.1 is the press release itself, dated August 7th. This is the primary document announcing their financial news. And Exhibit 99.2 is the investor presentation. This is likely where the actual numbers and charts that tell the story of their quarter are found. Without seeing these documents, we're working mostly with the framing and disclaimers the company is providing. And the report is signed by Meryl Golden, who is the Chief Executive Officer and President of Kingstone Companies. This tells us the CEO is aware of and stands behind this filing. So what's the takeaway here? Kingstone Companies is following protocol by releasing their quarterly financial results and holding a conference call. They're providing a press release and an investor presentation. However, the way they framed the filing, with all the disclaimers about the information being furnished, not filed, and being a summary, suggests they're being very cautious. It's like they're giving you the appetizer but want to make sure you know the main course is in separate, more official dishes. This approach is common to manage liability, but it also means investors need to be extra diligent in checking the actual financial statements and listening to the conference call for the unvarnished truth about the information being furnished, not filed, and being a summary suggests they're being very cautious. It's like they're giving you the appetizer but want to make sure you know the main course is in separate, more official dishes. This approach is common to manage liability, but it also means investors need to be extra diligent in checking the actual financial statements and listening to the conference call for the unvarnished truth about the company's performance. We really need to dig into those exhibits 99.1 and 99. Now, my take on this. When companies are this careful with their language and disclaimers, it often means the underlying numbers might be a mixed bag or perhaps not as stellar as they'd like to present without qualification. They're managing expectations and legal exposure. The fact that the presentation materials might be updated, but they specifically aren't promising to, is also a bit of a red flag. It suggests they might be more focused on the immediate narrative for the conference call than a consistent long-term update. The real strength or weakness here will depend entirely on the actual financial results within those attached documents. We can't judge Kingstone's direction without seeing the numbers. What's your take on these filings, and what do you think those presentation materials will reveal about Kingstone's financial health? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our future deep dives into corporate filings. We also have a fantastic community over on Discord. The link is in the description, so come join the conversation. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.